Hello, Antioch Church. We, as you know, if you've been in Antioch at any time at all, you know we talk about the 5 circles of church. If there's one thing that's going on in today's Kairos moment, God is impacting the church. And I believe in a lot of ways we've been anticipating this for years. And in the New Testament, the very first time it says that the saints gathered together continuously with gladness of heart, and they met in the temple, and they met in one accord. They met in the temple and from house to house. And if you talk about our 5 circles, the 2 center ones, really the center one is meeting from house to house, and then meeting in a gathered meeting, which is what you do when you come to a Sunday service. A lot of churches are so Sunday-centric that they lose the priesthood of the believer because you are the ministers of the gospel, not just those who actually speak on Sunday morning. So we are making some adjustments. They're really minor in our culture, but they're changing the way our language impacts our culture. And that is, we, instead of Ben being the associate pastor, which, what does that mean? He is now taking on the role of pastor of discipleship, which is one of our core values. And also on top of that, we're adding a new role. Well, it's not a new role, but it's a new responsibility for Ben, and that is pastor of life groups. And why don't you just go into what's going on with that, as well as what's going on with Seth, who's also having some transitions.
Yeah, and Seth's done a great job, and we look forward to sharing a bit more about some of the opportunities that he's going to be stepping into here within Antioch. But we are sensing prophetically that there's an emphasis on the small gathering. As we've seen throughout COVID, we became a virtual house church movement overnight. And now that we're beginning to come back together corporately, we don't want to lose the emphasis on meeting together in small groups. As Steve mentioned, that's where so much of the life of the church is lived out. And we really want to put time and effort into the life of our church, which we call life groups. We don't want to be merely a church that has life groups. We want to be a church of life groups. And so we're going to just be focusing on getting people plugged in, getting people equipped. We want to view all of our leaders of our life groups, not just as kind of Bible study leaders or just leaders per se, but really the pastors you guys are the front lines pastors of our church. And we really are looking forward to what the next couple months are going to look like and how we can begin strategically thinking about getting our life groups as the center focus of our church.
Well, I think the most important thing for us to understand is we always want to step into the river of what the Holy Spirit is emphasizing. And there's just no doubt I believe in what the New Testament and Jesus talked about as we approach that end of the age. We are in birth pangs. And one of the things He's doing is He is creating dangerous little subunits of church that are actually powerful micro-churches that are invading the world, not huddled away from the world. And that is going to be one of our major emphasis in the next 12 months. God bless you, and we'll see you Sunday.